Okay, here we have my larch maple forest that I started. I did this early in the spring when I think a few days after I got all of these, because the larches came in two groups. Because I had ordered them in two groups. I had ordered some because I ordered these in the fall to come in the spring when they dug them up. They only shipped, the place I got them off, which is why I got them from them, only does them at the right time of the year in spring when they dig them up and they ship them. Well, I ordered some and then I decided to order some more, so I had two orders of them and they came 2 different days. And then there's some maples over here. All we're going to do today is we're going to take care of the maples. Because the larch, I think I want to leave the larch to grow all this year. Just let them go. I wouldn't even touch the maples, except the maples need to just be taken care of just because the smaller ones won't get enough light. I just need to reduce some of the branches, the new growth and stuff on them. And I want to take this piece of wire off. Okay, I'll get in here and take wire off, and I will try to clean up some of these spots. Done this has a little bit of a stub that needs to be cleaned up, and none of these were tied in. And really, none of them would have had big enough roots to tie in, because I trimmed all of these up. In the when I put them in, I trimmed them all up and put them in here. The only one I have trouble with, this one's a little, which I can probably fix. I'm not worried about the larches with the tops too much. I arranged them all for the bottom. A lot of these larches will be cut back. Oh, and this one I already had last year. This is the only one I had from last year. I picked this one up. I found it somewhere online. It was just an individual tree, and I pick them up. And if I have the money and I can pick up American larches, I sometimes try to get some, because you don't come across them as much. Like these, I mean, I can buy these, just this, but separate trees don't come up of American larches that much. So if I'm interested in them, I'd like to get them. But you can see some of them are probably not as straight as we would want them or where we'd want them. So some of them will be, and they're not all the right heights and all that stuff anyways. But next year I will clip these back in the spring for height and stuff. I'm just going to let them grow this year. Like I said, I'd let the maples grow, but they've got bigger leaves, so we really need to. These are just green leaf maples. I'm using them as a substitute red maple, North American red maple, because they'll have smaller leaves than the red maple, and I think it will go better with this. We'll see what it looks like. If it doesn't work out in the end, I can remove these. That's no big deal. I didn't worry about these not working out so great. I don't know. I may have put some trees a little close in this. So at some point we might have to repot some of these trees down the line. Just to get them, or remove something. I mean, we might be able to remove some of these larches next year. One, I put them a little close, figuring maybe some of them die. Nothing died. Nothing died in here. This is the one, well, this may be dying. This is the worst maple of the group, and you can't see it in here, but there's a living piece on it here. And I may try, probably not, but I may try to I may remove that one and put another maple. I have 2 more, they were cuttings from this, which I'll probably get a couple more cuttings and try to make some more cuttings for this. because we can always eventually put this in a wider pot and add more maples to it. This is just what I had. This is what I ended up getting. This is like a bus at a restaurant, a bus container. You know, they bring it out to bus the tables at the end. Once you're done, they put all the plates and stuff in them. Really good. It was really what I found that was big enough to put this in that I couldn't find that I could make deep. I wanted this deep to start with because these are buried much deeper than they need to be, and I was trying to do that to help develop the roots. Because I want to get this to just be a big mat of roots eventually. This will just be one whole piece. It'll go in a pot, and I want it in a fairly shallow pot when I put it in. It'll be raised up a little bit on there. You know, I want a little bit of it's a bit of a hill maybe, but so we'll just get to these. Like I said, I just want to clip these back. Like I'll remove maybe some of the leaves, extra leaves, but like back here, this is all getting, a lot of this bottom stuff is getting shaded out and it will not do good. And I'll take off like this. That'll make a nice cutting. Yeah, I'll just trim these back. These don't need to be that long. We're just, like I said, we're just trying to get some light into the bottom with so many, with a bunch of trees together. They're going to be fighting for light. So if we can get them clipped back, that would be good. I don't really, like I said, I don't want to mess with them much. I just want to clip them back for the sake of light. And we can remove some of the leaves here and there if we need to also. And most of these, I'm just bringing them back to one node right now because I don't need a big long branch anyways on any of these really. So. And we're not worrying about styling or anything like that. Like I said, we're just getting this, like here we got 2 branches. I don't need both of those branches, so I'm gonna just remove that. I'll try to clean that up in a minute. These here. Yeah, those are both growing up straight. We don't need both of them there. I'm not looking for that right now. But I don't really want to touch the tops of them. I would rather them grow, tops to grow out more, and just get vigor in the tree and all that. Like over here, this little one, we will clean, like I said, we will clean some stuff up with these, but that's about it. And I think that we'll just leave that. No, yeah, we'll just leave that for now. Should be good. Yeah. I'm gonna take, like I said, I'm just gonna take some of these leaves out of here. Just to get some light in here. No reason to have all these leaves. This tree has plenty, all these trees have plenty of leaves to get light. So I'm gonna clean. There's a thing up here that needs to be cleaned up too. I'm actually going to, this one I will cut the top off. I think in favor of the branch on the other side. No, I won't because, yeah, no. Okay, we will keep this one here. But we have a small branch, a small one coming out here, so maybe we could replace this one that it seems to curve a little too much, but it might not be bad because it's the direction it's at. It wouldn't look too bad, I don't think. So let's try to get some more stuff out. Just trim that back. Yeah, and here I gotta get in here to get some of this stuff out. I'm trying to watch out what I cut so that I don't cut something I want to keep off. Yeah, I would have loved to. I probably would not have filmed this, even putting this together. I may not have filmed this even if I had the time to film, because I don't know, trying to put this many trees in the pot was a complicated thing, and it might not have filmed very well. I might have filmed it, but I might not have ended up showing it. Okay. Cut us here. Just kind of cutting this to get this out of the way. I should put those there. I'm gonna remove that leaf to get some more light in. Remove this leaf. Get some more light in. I'll remove that leaf. We're gonna remove that leaf, I think. We're gonna clean that up. There's another spot that could be cleaned up. And I'm hesitant to. Some of these maples could use some wiring, but I'm hesitant, even though they are pretty, I mean, all these trees are pretty stable, except for this one. This was the only one I've had a little bit of trouble with. After a windstorm, this one was kind of down, so I've put 2 rocks on either side of it for now. But all the other rocks I've taken out, because I didn't think we really needed them. I mean, like I said, they're in there. They're in there good. I've had pretty strong winds that even before they were really settled in. Like I said, they're deep, so they're anchored in there pretty good. Get this one out of here. And you can see I'm just generally trying to open this up for more light. I'm gonna cut the whole end of that off and let that. Okay, this is that tree here. I don't think I even need a branch that far down, so I am going to cut that whole thing off. Now, let me throw this one over here too. Yeah, these, I think I had last time I ended up the two other trees I have right here. These are two cuttings from these kind of trees. I think I either had 3 or 4 cuttings altogether, and these 2 survived. The other 1 or 2 didn't. So if I have a bunch of them, I should get several more out of them. So, like I said, that was my thinking of these. I can also buy more seedlings of these, like I did last year. Again, I might see into buying some more from the place I got them. Some more seedlings this year. Have my cuttings, the seedlings, and we can, because I would like this in probably a wider pot than this is. It'll be, as you can see, I don't plan on making it this wide of a thing. It may be a little wider than what I've got, but because I may try to put a couple. I'm kind of most likely order some more of these when they're available to be ordered in the fall of the Larch, and we can put some smaller ones back here next year when whatever we do. I don't know why I potted it so far back. I should have potted everything forward more, but oh well. I won't be able to do it next year, but at some point I can put some more in the back. Just like I won't be able to add more to this way, the maples this next year. But let's get back to this. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to take this one out too. I think I've cleared most of what I can get out of here out. Clear that. And I've chopped back most of the side branches just so I want more upward growth in these right now. Because generally from what I'm seeing with heights of the American larch versus the red maple is that the maple should be a little taller. The tallest maple should be a little taller than these. I don't remember the heights offhand, but I'm thinking they were probably about a good 50 feet in difference for their average, the average height. So I would want these a little taller than these. And they do, you do see, mixed forests of maples and the American larch in North America. So that's why I was going for, I wanted to try a mixed species, forest. You will see some literature says no, you shouldn't do it. Other literature says you can do it if you do it right. I know both of these trees are should be fairly even for what I need to do with them. I mean, they both need decent amount of water. They both don't need a lot of light. I actually don't keep these. I will not keep these in the front bench because I think the larch will really. These suffer up front. I think the larch will suffer up front too, even with my shade. For one, because my summers are a little warm here. We're just in the. I think my zone is just good enough to grow these in the ground. So in a pot they'll be taking them. So I keep these in the back where they get sunlight in it. And the other one has done fine the last 2 years I've had it in the back with just some evening sun. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to try to remove this little one that's not doing so good and replace it with one of the other ones. And what we are going to do is we're just going to try to dig it out. I mean, it's still alive, so I'm hoping that I can get it out without damaging its roots. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the roots aren't doing the greatest on this one. They're just that's apt to die. But I'm going to replace it with. I think this one, just because this one's more suitable for that. The other one curves more. I think this one's more suitable in a forest planting. So what I'll do is I'll try to. Because these haven't really grown together, so they're not a problem. I will put that other one. I'll put that other one into this, back into this. Put that other one into this pot, and we'll try to nurse it back to health. If it dies, it dies. I can't do much about that. Okay, you can see this one has much healthier roots. The other ones, the roots are real dark, so. Like I said, I'm not sure if that other one will even survive. What we will do with this, though, is we will trim these roots back just a little bit, because it's going to be hard to get the roots in there otherwise. And then I'm also going to No, I just clean this up. I was gonna cut one of these off. I think I'll wait and let it get it cut off at some other time. I don't think it's that important to decide which one yet, and I will let both of them grow so that it has plenty of roots to it. Oh, you can see a lot of these roots. Yeah, you can see the roots are starting to come over here. Yeah, that one's just not doing good. I think the roots don't look good on that other one. And what I'm just generally doing is I'm just trying to gently push the tree and the roots down into the soil, and then I will backfill with this stuff that I had here. And then I'll try to get this positioned where I want it. And I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put a rock there. And I got some other rocks. I'm going to put a rock on both sides of this just so that it, around them, just to help it. I mean, it's pretty stable in there anyways, but I'll put it in there for a few days, a few weeks, and let it get back. And then we're also, I see another leaf I should cut off. I'm going to cut that leaf off. That leaf's not helping anything. And there's a few leaves that can go back here. But okay, I'm going to clip. Also clip this off because this got clipped a long while back. And clip that off in favor of that one there. So there is what it looks like now. It actually looks a lot better. Like I said, these larch do need to be trimmed up, cut back, cut down. That'll help us get a better canopy in this eventually, but we're not worried about that right now. So there it is, all cleaned up. The maple's all cleaned up. And this is my American larch, the original one I bought. I bought this like 2 years ago. It was repotted when I got it, but not much done to it at the time. No, I didn't repot it. No. I got it too late. I did not repot this when I first got this. I had repotted this the next year, which would have been last year. So this is grown in this soil for 1 year. This is my bonsai. This is the last mix I think. Oh, this stuff on top. I put new stuff on top. That's the newest stuff. I was gonna say that had stuff in it, but today we're just gonna chop back. You might, I don't know if you can see in there. Yeah, you can see it's starting to bend over this way. Well, it really falls over more this way. I was gonna let it grow another season, but as it's been growing, I'll show you the end. I can't. I'll show you when we're done. As it's been growing, the ends have been putting out a lot more branches than down below, so it's become top heavy. And I'm just worried the more this becomes top heavy, this makes it more of a risk to flip over in a storm or get broken or something. So it's time to give this its very first trunk chop. This has never been chopped yet. I don't know. It would have probably been at least a couple years old when I got it, 2-3 years old when I got it. I've had it for 2 years. So you figure it's probably grown 4 or 5 years without ever being trunk chopped. Where I'm thinking of chopping it is back to this branch here. And I will give you why. I think this is a nice place to put some movement into the thing. I mean, this has some subtle movement. I don't want this to have a lot of movement. And this branch is still, one of these branches here is still very pliable, so I should be able to wire them up. Or I could use this. So I might use this one. I may use this one and just put a piece of wire on this just to hold this up in the back. And I think I will now. I'm thinking about use this one because this one is way more pliable and I will get less of a curve in it. And it'll end up looking better, I think, in the long run. But it's time to cut this back. This has just been growing too long like this. So here we go. We're just going to cut this back. Right there. This I will try to turn into cuttings. This should make some nice, if they make some nice cuttings. I have some large cuttings from earlier this year that they're still going, so they look like they could end up being viable. So we'll try to turn this into a cutting. Some cuttings. I should make several cuttings if they work. And then we'll get a piece of wire. I think my thinnest wire should work for this. And then we're just going to wind this up the trunk. I'm going to bring it well down here. I'm going to try to wrap it around several times before we get up here. And then, as I said, all I'm going to try to do is use this. I'm not going to try to wire up this branch per se. I'm just going to kind of use this wire as a means to hold. And I'm actually going to do, you don't normally see in this, I'm just going to kind of use it as a means to get this to bend up. And with a little bit of, just that little bit of wire, that should help that to, I don't want to put too much in there or we'll get weird. If it digs in, it'll get weird, so we don't want to wrap that tight. It's just going to be loose. I'm going to keep an eye on it. And I'm just going to use it to give it that thing. And the natural tendency for this, for the tree will be to just grow this thing straight up anyways. It should. So giving it that little bit of a start should keep it growing up, and it shouldn't take long to put that in place. So that is all I'm going to do with this. So this went from this was almost 5 feet tall to about what, maybe 2 feet? Probably under 2 feet. I'll have to measure it. I keep records, so I'll have to measure it when I'm done. But it's probably close to 2 feet, but probably not quite 2 feet. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's probably around 2 feet. So if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you next time.